ABC Listen. Podcasts, radio, news, music and more.
Lots of people out there that get highly offended or angry with how I go about it. I just think, well, if I see you in a boxing ring one-on-one, we'll see how you go. But until then, I couldn't give a what you say.
That is Giants captain Toby Greene. The perception of the GWS champion is one of an immensely talented rat bag. He can rip a game apart. He can self-destruct. Opposition players hate him. Teammates love him. As you heard there, he doesn't really care. There is a lot more to this player than you might expect. And this week, we got a look into just that in a new doco. He's here to talk about it on a bonus edition of the show. This one was fun. I'm Patrick Stack. This is ABC Sport Daily. Toby Greene's part of the new Amazon documentary Final Siren Inside the AFL, which launched this week. Toby, welcome. I think what footy fans have been drawn to so far in the little bits that have dripped out across social media has been Adam Kingsley's spray.
You don't stand up. 3 touches and a half. You don't stand up. You allow yourself to be beaten by him. You don't change your position. You don't get to contest, and you're undisciplined. What are you going to do about it?
What was more confronting? Was it being in the moment on the receiving end of that, or was it having to watch it on a big screen for this documentary series?
Being on the end of it, yeah, that was it was pretty warranted at the time though, and yeah, that's rare though. It's rare for him, and don't get that too often. But no, that one was it was pretty fair, I thought, and yeah, he delivered it in a good style.
Oh, you're not the first player from the Giants to tell me that is exceedingly rare. Do you feel like he's used that in his sort of bag of tricks very specifically?
Oh, yeah, well, I don't think coaches want to bring that out too often, and they often lose effect if so. But it is, I've had him as a coach for 3 and going into my 4th year now, and no, it's certainly not a weekly or a monthly thing. That was a one-off sort of thing.
The last time Amazon did this project, you were involved as well, but sort of off to the side a little bit. And I found it really interesting the way Leon Cameron's spray was received compared to Kingsley's, because it felt like Leon's was depicted as kind of being a little bit wild and out of control, but Adam seems to have been really embraced. Did you notice that at all when you watched the two docos side by side and the way they've been received?
It's a good question. No, not really. No, it's not something I've probably noticed, what you mentioned, but I mean, they both go about it in different ways. I'd say Leon is probably more an emotional coach at times than King is, but both guys I've got great relationships with. But yeah, I can't remember Leon's too much, to be fair. That would have been a while ago now, but I do remember whilst the documentary was getting filmed and had been around.
Is King as the most terrifying coach that you've ever been involved with across any sort of form of football?
No, he's not scary. I think he can come across like that, but he's sometimes maybe people might find it hard to talk to him or be nervous to talk to him, but he's certainly not like that. In terms of scary, so Choco Williams that I had early in my career was pretty scary when I was an 18-year-old. So, I guess King takes a bit of Choco in him because he was his coach as well.
Now, there's scary and then there's scary, because maybe the most interesting spray or talking to was the one that came from your lovely wife, Georgia, who I can actually see over your right shoulder. She spoke to you about the fact, I think, that when you get in trouble, the blowback doesn't necessarily worry you. You're someone who seems to have exceedingly thick skin, but it can be, intimidating and full on for her and for the family.
I've had DMs saying, I saw him cheating with girls and does he bash you up? It probably affects me more than Toby.
Which spray did sort of weighed on your mind or made you think, about yourself more? Was it the one from Adam Kingsley, or was it one from, your dear wife, Georgia?
Nah, Georgia, yeah, she's scarier than King is, that's for sure. No, but you're right. It is. It's part of being in the public eye and being, I guess, a player that provokes opinions, and that's what comes with it. So I guess that gets talked about throughout the documentary, and yeah, there'll be lots of players in the league that can sort of attest to that, and some more than others. And I feel like I've been exposed to both the good and bad within the public eye, and understand what comes with it.
Georgia's just one person close to you that features. We also see your daughter, your mum is involved, and you speak really openly about some of the complex challenges with your father.
3 or 4 years before that, I think I knocked him out in the change rooms because he was drunk and carrying on. So he's just like, came into the change room. He was pretty loud and boisterous, and he was extremely drunk. And I was just embarrassed and just told him to fuck off and, punched him. So, it's hard. Like, the reason I love footy is because of him and got into it.
What doesn't get mentioned is your relationship with your brothers. And I understand that you're something of a father figure to them. You've got a really special relationship there. And I just wondered whether your family experience has been kind of a cornerstone of what's made you a strong captain and leader in a footy context as well. Is there crossover there?
Yeah, there's a bit of crossover, maybe. I probably view my brothers like I view the 18-year-old kids at the club, in terms of, like, I feel a lot older than them, and I feel like I need to, set the right example. Even though my brothers are like 28 and 29 or something like that, it certainly doesn't feel like that. There is probably similarities in that regard. But then, being able to understand people from all different walks of life and different situations certainly helps.
I think a big theme of the doc is the fact that you, like all of us, there's a level of imperfection, and the club has a few players who've had challenges and bounced back. Whether it's Jesse Hogan, Jake Stringer, Clayton Oliver's probably trying to follow suit. Is that at all part of the club's DNA, like a kind of belief in second chances, the power of imperfection? Is that something that permeates through the Greater Western Sydney Giants?
Well, it's not something we probably set out to do, but by fortune and by, I guess it's hard to attract players as well to Sydney and the Giants at times. So, sometimes we've had to, sort of draft or recruit guys that maybe clubs, had to turn their back on. So I guess by that, and then by, way of a little bit of luck, we've ended up with these guys who have had magnificent careers with us, or been able to turn their careers around. And hopefully Clayton's another one of those guys. Melbourne were pretty keen to get rid of him, and we were certainly pretty keen to get him. So I'm looking forward to playing with him this year and getting to know him and playing with him. He's someone I've admired a lot, and I think we'll see the best out of him again as well. But it is a great trait to have. It means your culture's pretty strong, and that you give everyone a chance.
I spoke to some people who know you really well, and they talk about trust being something that needs to be really earned with you. If you're slow to trust, a documentary that follows you around feels like an interesting choice, Toby. A fly-on-the-wall documentary taking us really inside your defences. Why were you willing to do that? Why did you want to be involved?
Yeah, it's a good question. Well, you're right. I probably do take a while to sort of warm up to people and sort of be myself. But I understand that, it was an amazing opportunity to start with. Being part of something that's going to a worldwide audience is pretty cool, and something maybe I could show my kids or grandkids in the future, and something that they might be proud of. That was probably the main reason. To be honest, being at a footy club and having cameras around all the time, it's something you get used to, and it's not something I worry about as well. I sort of feel for some, it would have been a lot harder for a younger kid who growing up with social media pressures and things like that. I've been there, done that, and it doesn't really doesn't weigh on my mind at all. I am who I am, and whatever the public opinion will be, and I guess we'll find out over the next few weeks. But I guess ultimately it was a way to give people a good insight, and hopefully, something I can sit down and watch with my kids in 10 years' time and go, oh yeah, this is what Dad used to do, and things like that.
You talk about your kids. I mean, your daughter gets a bit of airtime in this documentary, and Georgia said the transformation she's seen in you as a person as a consequence of fatherhood has been something she's really been able to sort of chart.
Our daughter is Isla. She's 18 months now. I think for Toby, it's the first time something's come that's bigger than football.
Do you feel that? Can you sense that you've changed as a person, and if so, how?
Yeah, well, you sort of have to change as well as part of your lifestyle. So that certainly changes. But yeah, I mean, it's been amazing having a daughter and seeing her grow up over the last couple of years, and hopefully we got a couple more kids to come as well. But yeah, it certainly changes you and makes you appreciate your time at home and trying to be the best father you can, I guess. And that's something I'm always conscious of, and trying to have a bit of fun with her along the way as well.
No one can play forever, and I don't think you're going to tell me when you're going to retire. So I'll ask something differently. I want to know what might come next rather than when you're going to finish up. I know you're studying an MBA. I hear you're an absolute fiend for the Australian Financial Review. The word I keep getting from people around you is curious. Another one is driven. If you're a driven person, if you're a curious person, what would drive you for what comes next? Like, what would you want to do? Do you see it as football? Do you see it as business?
Yeah, it's probably something I think about, pretty much every day. About trying to put myself in a good position. I do sort of like all the things you mentioned. I think I like the sports side of business as well, like business, sports administration or things like that. I think I want to start to head down that path and, having a bit of experience, well, certainly a lot of experience in AFL, and that gives you a bit of life experience as well. And I'll have my MBA done this year, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in footy either. Like, I understand that getting outside of that will probably be a lot more beneficial and learn a lot more. But I think that's what I want to get in. I'm interested in. But yeah, as I said, I'm curious about all different types of businesses, and I certainly want to do something I'm passionate about after footy, and I'm not one to sort of sit still and do not much. So I certainly want to, I want to roll straight into that pretty much once footy is all said and done.
Toby Greene, it's a cracking series. We really enjoyed watching it. Excited to see how you go on field this season with the Greater Western Sydney Giants. Thanks so much for your time. Good luck for the season.
Appreciate it, mate. Thank you for having me.
I'm Patrick Stack. This is ABC Sport Daily, produced by Poppy Penny. We will be back in your feeds as normal on Monday. Thanks to Prime Video for the extra audio used in this episode.
Discover more great ABC podcasts, live radio and exclusives on the ABC Listen app.